Yeah, it is Marvel Contest of Champions news time. It is a Thursday. It is just about hitting the bank holiday, and people that are working are going to be incredibly excited because we've got Friday off, Good Friday, and we've got Easter Monday, 2 bank holiday days. This is a great time in the UK and obviously worldwide. I know people are celebrating things like Passover. Yes, people are kind of celebrating stuff with regards to Christian holidays and things, with regards to Easter. So, yeah, hopefully you're going to have a great weekend with stuff. And obviously Marvel Contest of Champions news is here to give you the lowdown on stuff that is happening in the community, especially because we've had some emergency maintenance, which is a pain in the ass. So without further ado, let's jump into these news stories. Our first story to cover is the one that is most pressing, and that is the emergency maintenance. What is the story with this? Well, unfortunately, we're not getting the specifics of information with regards to this emergency maintenance. The level of transparency I don't think is ever going to be there, where we're told like, hey, there's a problem with the left phalange of the server. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get that level of detail. But the disappointing thing is obviously the contest went down, which for a lot of people kind of fell for a dodgy time. I mean, for myself, like, I was really late to getting to Alliance Quest to kind of like finish off some stuff, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll just jump in. Boom, emergency maintenance. It was like, damn, okay, worst time for me to have a day where I wasn't on point as maybe I should be. And the same thing is like other people have like different agendas that they wanted to get in that arena grind. Thursday is a very difficult day for people because it is the start of a new arena period. Will it dramatically affect the Sabertooth scores or any other arena scores? I doubt it. I think people will know that it was only down for about like a good kind of hour at most, like 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not 100% sure because I was in the gym at the time. But the problem is obviously when things go down, people's kind of agendas change what they can do. It means that maybe they just go, hey, well, I'll give it some time. Other people reaching out on Twitter and kind of saying, hey, the contest is down. Thanks for that. But it's back up and running. I think that's the main thing at the moment. But like I said, we're not going to get that level of transparency. Like, yeah, it's one of your servers down, mate. Yeah, what I could do is put in a new server, but it's going to like take about 30 to 50 minutes, you know what I mean? So a lot of people are going to complain. Yeah, it's not, I don't think we're ever going to get that level of detail, but yeah, it's back. It's good. Our second story up is the gifting event. There wasn't really any point in many kind of stories running yesterday, so I didn't really kind of cover this. But the new event is a free gifting event. Now, early kind of thoughts was this was going to be more of a kind of cash grab, more of a kind of a well-based event. I think that's what it was tipped for in the very first few minutes until people kind of like read further and kind of like, oh, it's tickets. So it is a free gifting event. So there are an incredible amount of positives with this event going live, which, you know, I'm well up for. Like, the kind of like issues of kind of going, hey, it's all about a whale event, then yeah, okay, that's kind of like squashed a little bit. I don't know what the future plans for this, like whether or not the gifting event will evolve quickly or whether it will just remain free ticketed event, which, you know, that's all about like logging in, getting involved with the calendar, and then obviously you're getting those gifts, and then obviously you're helping your alliance mates. And that's the thing, the big thing about not just the shards for dimensional rifts and the gifting event is alliance participation. A great amount of shards for the 3-day events are there, so obviously work for your alliance mates over this particular period of time while the chaos rifts are in, and also this gifting event. It's really important to work together. I myself didn't work together with my alliance. I should have been on time with AQ. So, you know, you learn your lessons, but make sure you work with your fellow alliance mates. And alliance leaders, get your asses in gear and work with your people. That's another thing, another key thing to mention. But obviously with this event comes the Halls of Healing. Fantastic. Great to see the Halls of Healing back. I know a lot of people will say, where's the Halls of Gold? Where's the gold kind of like stuff? And it's like, yeah, I do get you. But at the same time, I'm in a period where I want to grind out a lot of Act 5. And I think that it would be good to get some healing and some health potions coming my way. So I'm all up for that. At the same time, with Alliance Wars coming to an end, people need to then kind of go, right, should I hoard some Alliance healing potions as well as some other stuff, so therefore your glory is saved, so you can spend your glory on things that matter, like resources that are going to like help your champions grow. So those are the kind of main focuses. Either way, gifting event, Halls of Healing, good to see these 2 events returning, and good that they're free, and also even better because I hear that the energy for Halls of Healing is at a 0, so it means the cost in order to kind of move based on energy consumption is low. Brilliant, even better if that is true. Okay, the next story I want to cover is all about the level 1 revives being removed from the 22-hour events. This is something that someone discussed over the stream that I did the other night, and I completely wigged out. But I think that once I then came around, I was like, oh, they're referring to the solo events. I was like, man, that is pretty bad. So we've had the level 1 revive being removed from the solo event, and I'm not thinking that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that's a good idea at all. It's not very fair to the community to have that removed. I think that it was removed when there was a previous event. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I think that it was either at the Spider-Verse thing, or it was when they did a similar thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think was Volume 0, if I remember rightly. I think in those two events, the revive might have been removed. Again, don't like shoot me down if I'm completely wrong with that, but I think they have done this before, especially when they add things in like these dimensional rift shards. But I don't know if like I just don't think it's like a good thing to remove them, because you know, they're grindable content, unless they're padding it with the halls of healing, and that's the reason that you can then get some stuff from there. So again, like, I don't know, I'm not best pleased with it, but at the same time I understand if they're gonna then put halls of healing in to kind of compensate for that. But we'll see. Our next story, and one that obviously is going to confuse people, like, why is there kind of like type here? And this is all about a story that somebody brought to me, my attention, with regards to punishment for alliance kind of mates when somebody is potentially banned or is under suspicion of being banned. So the story goes, and I will be keeping this person's identity kind of anonymous. I will be speaking to Kabam about this as well, and trying to see if I can create a bit more awareness. I'm incredibly disappointed with regards to a response to Kabam based on this particular issue of someone in this person's alliance was doing something or using some software which was obviously gonna get him banned. And the biggest issue is they did not come up to be banned, so therefore they were still in the alliance. Let's say there's 30 people in the alliance. One of those is doing stuff that is going to affect the alliance in alliance wars, especially this season, which is then going to mean their multipliers out of the game. It screws up the alliance. You know, their competitive edge is kind of lost. Their traction is lost as well, and they're feeling shit, to be honest. This person raised a story with me and kind of like said, hey, you know, is there something that could be done with this? Because he's tried to get in contact with Kabam and say, hey, you know, we've got an issue. We can't find who the person is. We want to remove them from the alliance so it doesn't affect the alliance ongoing. And unfortunately, then they have said that they're not able to comment on the situation. Because they're not able to comment and single out that one person, it has now affected 29 other people. This I find absolutely disgusting. It's not fair to the alliance. It's not fair to the alliance leaders. It's not fair to yeah, like the whole kind of concept of grinding out the seasons. And we've seen it time and time again with this particular season. In the very early stages, people that were using third-party software, which was then kind of like affecting the other alliance mates. And I think that's the thing where Kabam need to kind of either remove them from the alliance, or something more stringent and more stronger needs to be done, or the interaction with alliance leaders with regards to how they go about removing bad people from the alliance needs to be there. This is something that will be ongoing for a while. Like I said, if we can create some awareness on this at the same time, I will be speaking to Kabam and see if there's anything that can be done. But there needs to be more tools available to alliance leaders to sort this out before it punishes and affects other members of that alliance. And our final story is, what do you love about the contest? And this is something that I think I was very brave to start off with by, you know, Kabam, to put this out there, because and I have read a few comments. Some of them obviously, a lot of them are quite good actually. Some of them are kind of like, they start off with the constructive criticism and go, do you know what, I'm not a big fan of your game some of the time, but the times that you get it right, it's okay. But obviously there's people that are kind of like a little bit critical. However though, if you do feel that you want to speak with passion, with love, with criticism, with everything really, then just go over and put your thoughts on there. Hopefully you can put some constructive criticism and not go full ham, rather than going, your game's shit, sort it out, I'm annoyed, I'm quitting, I've given you so much money, all the kind of usual stuff that we're used to seeing on the forum in certain places. But you know, if you can give constructive criticism and maybe the smallest of compliment, it could make somebody's day. but it's up to you. So that's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 29th of March 2018. I'm going to go on a big grind this weekend, hopefully get like a Sabretooth video out and some other videos, so do look out for that. It will be Marvel Contest of Champions orientated, of course, but the odd kind of videos of War Wings, because like I said all the time, I really enjoy that game, but I will be kind of like changing the content scheduling. But anyway, lots of Marvel Contest of Champions videos will be coming out over the weekend. And also the odd live stream, usually about 2200 hours GMT time. I'll be live streaming. If not, it will be at 2230 GMT that I'll be streaming most nights, except for Saturdays and Sundays. Those are the kind of the days that I don't really kind of do live stream. But do look out for my live streams. I'm doing them a lot more nowadays. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.